Hi folks, today I'm going to discuss an article that appeared in the Dallas Morning News. And here's that article, kids. What this article basically is about, it has to do with an act that was passed in 1952 by the Congress of these here United States of America, establishing a National Day of Prayer. Well, according to some Judge Barbara Crabb, who happens to be a federal judge, I think in Wisconsin, who happens to also have been appointed by Democrat President Jimmy Carter, the worthless one, as Michael Medved would call him. According to this judge Democrat, she says that the National Day of Prayer is unconstitutional. Really? Apparently this judge has not acquainted herself with the Constitution, specifically the Bill of Rights, notably the First Amendment. The First Amendment reads, and I'm going to read to you the whole part of the religious portion of it, because if you've been to an American public school in the last 30 years, you are only familiar with a small portion of it. They taught you that the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion, and they stop it right there. There's another part right after it that they leave out totally, which reads, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Now, how many of you public school victims know about that part, eh? Raise your hand. Yeah, and I don't see any hands going up. The purpose of that clause in the Constitution was so the government did not recognize a particular religion as the state religion, okay? So when you have a National Day of Prayer, you could do a Christian prayer, a Buddhist prayer, a Hindu prayer, a Muslim prayer, a Jewish prayer, anybody's prayer, a pagan prayer, no problem. You pick your own prayer if you want to pray on that day. So it is not respecting the establishment of a religion, because it respects all religions, but it is prohibiting the free exercise thereof when that judge said it was unconstitutional. Now listen to me. So you're saying it's unconstitutional to pray, have a National Day of Prayer, or to pray anywhere on government property. To which once again I have to say, really? President George Washington, first president of this country, he was at the Constitutional Convention in 1787. He wrote the Constitution, not himself, but he was part of the delegation that wrote the Constitution. Guess what President George Washington did while he was president? He issued a proclamation giving thanks on Thanksgiving. And to whom? Not me. Not to Benjamin Franklin. To the God Almighty. Hallelujah. Here was a man in the White House, or wherever he was in residence at the time, issue this National Day of Prayer on Thanksgiving. Now, was that unconstitutional? Did he violate the very document he helped author? Now, a lot of these heathens would tell us you cannot pray if you're a government employee, on government time, on government property, if you're anybody. Recently, well, I shouldn't say recently, I think it was about a year ago, there was a horrific automobile accident. I think it was somewhere in Texas. And the children and the family just died, and there were just body pieces all over the place. Well, the workers that went there to tend to this, they were so moved and so filled with grief that they stood together and prayed on the highway in uniform. Did somebody say they were in violation of the Constitution? No. How dare someone tell them they were in violation of the Constitution? But you're not going to expunge religion from this country, because we are a strong religious nation, and judges like this are not going to do anything to stop us from praying. because we adhere to the First Amendment of the Constitution. We'll see you, folks. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless the nation you happen to be. See ya.
We are springing to the call for 300,000 more, shouting the battle cry of freedom, and we'll fill the vacant ranks of our brothers gone before, shouting